Oldies 98.9, 1220, 105.3, WGNY, of course, the Beach Boys. 1966 from the Pet Sounds album. Gotta love that one. I'm Bobo. Good morning, everyone. And, of course, very, very special guest here this morning. And really, let's all pay attention to this because it's something that's very, very important. Richard Shapiro. All right. And he is a, well, you don't want to call him a financial planner. No. But what he is an estate planner. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, Bob. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. And of course, how was your weekend, Richard?
Not bad. I actually was down in Florida for a few days visiting some family, so back in town last night and ready to hit the week running.
If you don't mind, what part of Florida? Because I used to live there.
I was in the Bradenton, St. Pete area.
Oh, right on my stomping grounds. I lived on Anna Maria Island.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, what a beautiful place.
It is.
And of course, I worked in the Bradenton area and Sarasota areas.
Got it.
You know what I could never understand, Richard? Is that on Anna Maria Island, there's hardly anybody on that beautiful beach. I just don't get it. With the Gulf of Mexico right there? Oh, yeah. Just simply gorgeous. It really is. So, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Shapiro is a, well, like I said, he's not a financial planner, but he is a, well, how would you put it, Richard?
I'm an elder law attorney.
Yeah, so what is elder law, Richard, as we get into this?
Elder law is really the discipline that cuts across several areas of law. It, of course, includes estate planning, traditional estate planning, trusts, wills, powers of attorney, healthcare proxies, living wills, and those kind of things. It also includes guidance to help seniors and their families plan for the possible need for long-term care, what many people refer to as Medicaid planning. And it also cuts across the gamut of disability law, special needs planning. So it's a very interrelated, multidiscipline type practice.
And it's something that really needs to be done by individuals, isn't it?
Yes. If people don't take a proactive step, unfortunately, despite our best hopes and plans, things are going to happen at any gamut of life. We are unfortunately not immortal souls.
And I don't want people to get the wrong idea that, generally speaking, people don't have to have a lot of assets. All they basically need is some property in a house that's paid off and somebody that they may be willing that to. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, to do any kind of planning, you don't need enormous assets. You don't have to be millionaires. For very high net worth people, there are planning challenges associated with that group from estate tax liability and such. But generally, asset preservation for long-term care is not as critical because in many cases those people can self-insure essentially. They have enough income to cover even the exorbitant costs of long-term care. But your traditional middle-class people, they're the ones who get hurt the most. They have too much present assets to qualify for Medicaid, and yet and because of the high cost of long-term care in the area and the country in general, they will quickly burn through their assets and become impoverished before Medicaid will pay without proper planning, and that's where people like myself come in.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Because we all do not know how much time we have. I just had a friend of mine pass away April 21st. All of a sudden, and it just shocked the heck out of me. You never would have thought that would happen, but it does. And people really need to get their assets and their last will and testament together. Now, what if a senior is in a nursing home And, of course, they have to sign their house over to that nursing home, do they not?
No, that's not really what would have to happen. The general rules are currently in New York State, for someone to qualify for nursing home Medicaid coverage, they can own a home which is exempt for at least a period of time, and they can have just over $30,000 of other assets, and that's about it. So let's say someone does have a house and $100,000 of assets, so they would be over-resourced in the parlance of the day for Medicaid. But if they did go into a nursing home, they could do some planning around the extra $70,000 with either some prepaid funeral costs. There's something called a half-a-loaf plan, which are part gift, part loan. But the house can remain exempt if they sign what's called a statement of intent to return home. Whether or not they're really ever going to return home is not a relevant question for that eligibility purpose. However, if after roughly 6 months or so it is clear that they are not returning home, then the Department of Social Services can put a lien on the house. So it really has nothing to do with what the nursing home does. It's what Department of Social Services would have the power to do. And if they put a lien on their home, then every dollar they spend on your care for your long-term care is going to eat away at the equity of your home if you haven't done planning in advance. And nursing home costs today in the region basically are on average over $13,000 a month, and many of them are pushing $15,000 or $16,000 a month presently. So it wouldn't take terribly long, unfortunately, to eat away the significant amount of equity in your home under those circumstances.
Well, and that's where an attorney like you comes into play, yes?
Yeah. People who do what I do have, a set of tools in our toolbox, as it were, to work around pretty much any circumstance to help preserve assets. And at minimum, we're able to save 50% and often far more than that of a person's assets, even during a crisis phase, which means we get the call and they say Mom's in Garnett Medical Center or St. Luke's or anywhere, and they're telling us as family she'll never be able to come home. She has to go to a nursing home. What can we do? That's a crisis case that we deal with all the time.
Oh my goodness! And the costs, like you were just recently discussing, the costs they're disgusting, to be honest with you. But like we were just discussing, the cost of nursing homes is astronomical.
Yes, I mean, it's on average. New York State does a survey every year of the private nursing home costs in each of the particular regions of New York State. We are in what's called the Northern Metropolitan Region. That is a 7-county area of Orange, Dutchess, Sullivan, Ulster, Putnam, Westchester, and Rockland counties. And in this Northern Metropolitan Region, the average monthly cost of a private room, or semi-private room even, in a nursing home is $13,906.
Wow. Oh, my goodness, that's crazy. Richard, I wanted to ask you if you can stick around a little bit. I got to take a quick break here. You got time?
I do.
Oh, that'd be great. Stay right there. And Richard Shapiro is with us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. My. A lot of questions will be answered right after this.
Hi, I'm Eliza Bozensky from Anderson Center for Autism. For nearly 100 years, we have been working to unlock potential for people at every age and stage of life.